You think by attaching yourself to that person, by relying on that person, you are happy. But wait for that moment when they stop giving you what you want, or wait for that moment when they stop showing up the way you thought they usually show up. That's when you will know what it feels like when you attach yourself to someone, when you attach yourself to something. Everyone, my name is Lucy and welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking about attachment and how to detach from people, situations, from things, from even the past. Okay, so do not forget to subscribe, like and comment, and let's jump right into the video. Now, I used to be someone who used to be attached to certain things in life because I thought that without those particular things I will not survive. When you attach yourself to something, it comes mainly from a point of fear. The fear that you're not good enough, the fear that you're going to lose out, the fear that nothing else is going to come to your life and nothing better is going to come in your life. But when you start operating from that vibration of lack, there is no way you're going to achieve anything better in your life. You have to remember that today someone that is a friend can turn into a stranger, and that very person that was a stranger can turn into a friend real quick like this. You have to remember, the more you attach yourself to certain things and certain situations and certain people, you're blocking yourself from things coming your way, people coming in your way, people who are going to elevate your situation to come in your way, because you're holding on to something feeling that you're never going to find better, you're not going to get any better with yourself. That's why it's very, very important for you to remember that your worth, yourself, your own happiness is determined by you and you and you alone. Nobody else in this world can have the right to determine your happiness. Nothing out there is going to make you happy as much as you feel happy within your own self. It starts within you for it to vibrate everywhere else. If you're not operating on your higher vibration of your own life, then you're operating on someone else's vibration. And you have to remember this kind of thing, that you are going to go as far as that thing you're attaching yourself to. For example, if you're attaching yourself to people, you're going to go as far as they can go. So your potential is based on how much they go, how far they go, in life. But you're underestimating yourself. What if you could get to something better? What if your potential is greater than that person that you're attaching yourself to? If it's a relationship, before you met that person, you were living a life. You were being on your own, single, enjoying yourself. But now, since that person has come in your life, you've attached yourself to that person. You've now relied yourself on that person, thinking that you cannot find any better. But think about the before you met them, how it was. If you can attach yourself to something, you can for sure detach yourself away from that thing as well. It's not as hard as you may think. It's a process of how you have to do it, but you have to remember that I didn't know this person one time in my life. Now it's time for them to go. You have to kind of remember this thing, that people come in your life for seasons, and for that season they serve. You have to stop thinking about this thing that this person is horrible, they came in my life, they did this, they did that. Every single person who comes in your life, you have to look at them from an elevation sort of point of view, because everyone who comes in your life elevates you from one point to another, whether it's teaching you a lesson, whether it's adding something to your life or adding value to your life. Everybody in your life is there for a reason. There is a reason as to why they're there in your life, and sometimes it's the end of the road. Sometimes that's the end of it all, because you can create soul ties with people even without them being present in your life. You're still connected with them. Like, don't you even have kind of a life? Like, do something for your own self, because I can imagine you sitting there and thinking about this person, and thinking about, without this person I cannot survive, I cannot do this. Get yourself going, do things that you love. That's why it's so important to do things like self-love. That's something that helps you detach sometimes, to love yourself and remember that it is with yourself. Every single time you think that nobody is there for me, no one cares for me, everyone cares for you as much as you care for yourself. Everyone is there for you as much as you're there for your own self. When people leave your life, you are left with your own self. At the end of the day, if you're someone who believes in God, you are going to be accountable to God, you on your own, just you, nobody else. Not that person that you thought, oh my God, I can't live my life without them. Yes, you can live your life without them. You have been living your life since birth, when you were brought on this earth, till this day, you can as well detach yourself from those people. Those people don't have any right, or those things don't have any right to come in your life and you feel attached to it, you know, attaching yourself to things. It could be even threats of like toxicity when it comes to things like drugs, alcohol and stuff like that. You attach yourself so much to those things to make you happy, but we all know in the long run those things become addictive and they start making you unhappy. And then your life, you know, your health, you know, you have mental health, you have this kind of depression, you're anxious, you're all those kind of things, just because you've attached yourself to something. It's not easy. It's not something that is easy. Sometimes it's trauma. You have to look at the things that really hurt you. Is it the parents being absent? Because most people, your primary caregiver being absent in your life has created you to be attached to people that come in your life and try to give you that kind of care. Anyone that tries to give you any sort of care in your life, you start attaching yourself to those people because you feel like, okay, they have some kind of responsibility over your life and responsibility over you as a person. Detachment or attachment is something that is really not good at all for your own life. It doesn't set you free. You don't have freedom once you attach to something else. You don't have any kind of freedom once you belong to someone else. And you can never know as much as you can do in your life because you have relied and you have tied yourself onto something else, like that thing belongs to you. Nothing on this earth belongs to you. When you leave this earth, when you die, when I die, when everybody dies, we're going to leave everything right here where we found it. We're not going to take anything wherever we go. We're not going to take those people wherever we're going. If there was this kind of scenario that when I die, I go with this person I've attached myself to, then perfect, I would do the same thing. But you have to remember that when you go, when you're not here anymore, you are going on your own. Everything that you have around you is going to stay here. It's going to stay here. Whatever you have left behind is going to stay here. But what legacy are you living? Are you living this kind of legacy like I lived my life best on someone else's terms, or I lived my life best on my own terms? When you live your life best on your own terms, you become free. There is something that I saw, someone put up a title on a video, on a thumbnail, that says there is a difference between loving yourself and loving who you are. I think it was about loving the kind of person you're becoming and loving yourself, some kind of thing like that. But it basically meant that when you start living in your own self, in you, and enjoying you and embracing you, it's easy for you to detach yourself from people. It's easy for you to, you know, separate yourself from those people because you can't be like those very particular people. Sometimes it can get really bad to that extent of whereby you attach yourself to people that you seek their attention. If they don't give you that attention, you start feeling sad, you start feeling down about yourself. But in actual sense, you are already feeling down within yourself. Whether that person gives you attention or not, you're already feeling that way about your own self. You need to start healing. You need to heal from that thing that really hurt you, that thing that is really bothering you, that thing that makes you feel attached to those particular people or that particular thing. It is so important. You need to find your healing point. Every single person, every single human being needs healing. I need healing from things I do not know. You need healing from things that you do not know. You have to try as much as you can to get on a point whereby you are healing. You are on a healing process. If you live in denial of like, I don't have any problems, I'm not going to go and heal, I'm not going to talk about it, situations in life are going to make you remember that you need healing. We all need some point of healing. We need to uncover certain things in our past, certain things in our day-to-day basis, and also fears that we have anticipated, to kind of let go of them. You have to get to a point whereby you have to start healing. You need to start unpacking. You need to remember that if those people are not here anymore, what are you going to do? These things sometimes can even lead to people actually ending their lives, or people actually going. In this Netflix series that I watched called Obsession, so in that series, this particular man, sorry for the spoiler, he was so attached to this woman that he didn't care that his son had died. This woman was the wife to be to his son. His son was getting married to this woman and he was cheating with this woman, and the son found out and he literally died. But after the son had died, went and buried the son, went back to the woman and said, I still cannot live without you. The lady was like, your son just died, my fiance just died because of us doing whatever we did. And he was like, I really don't care, that is done, it's done. Can you imagine that sort of attachment, that it leads to a point whereby you want your whole being to be controlled by somebody else? You want your whole being, to belong to somebody else. And it can get too bad to that extent that you feel like you can't live this world without that particular person. You have to remember this, that life is all about how you make it, what you make out of it, not what somebody else makes out of it. It's about what you make out of it. You meet people on a daily basis, and you can let those same people go on a daily basis. If you keep holding on to those same people, then you have lost. Let's think about this scenario. When you are climbing a mountain and you're going to the top part of the mountain, they always say carry, light weight. The mountain is as steep as this. The more you climb up the mountain, the steeper it becomes. And if you've got heavy baggage, you need to offload. When you offload the baggage, it becomes lighter for you to get to the top. And sometimes you can get to the top just with a bottle of water, with a tent, because that's the only sort of baggage or luggage that you need to get to the top. So you keep shedding off the stuff that you don't need for you to get to the peak of your life. It's the same thing. Think about it in your life. When you're trying to get to the higher level of yourself, to the higher level of your career, to the higher level of everything else, you have to start offloading stuff. You need to start offloading people in order for you to reach that point. You are not going to get to the peak of that mountain because you're still carrying that heavy load. You're going to feel tired and stuck and frustrated in life because you are still holding on to that baggage. You're saying, I can't let go of this baggage because it's so valuable, because I'll not find this particular latest edition of this thing. I can't find this particular thing anymore, or I can't find this person anymore, so I'm not going to let go. I'm going to hold on as much as I can, until I can find my way to get to the top with all this baggage. But you can't. The rules are, if you want to get to the top, you need to offload the stuff that you've got on you. So at some point, if you're tired of staying in that situation, you're going to see people climbing up the mountain, passing you and going up. Climbing up the mountain, getting to the top. Going up the mountain, getting to the top. You're still there, holding on to that baggage. So you have to remember that in order for you to get there, you need to offload. And offloading means you need to detach to those things. Throw that Louis Vuitton thing, throw that person that you thought was a best friend, that husband that's been in your life that is abusing you, using you, and doing all those kind of things. Throw it all away. And then start climbing up that mountain. When you get to the peak of your own self, nobody can even tell you how you can move in your life, how you can think, and what you can decide to do in your life, So anyways, I'm going to end this video on this point. If you love this video and you love everything I talked about, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with a new video, but hopefully this has really helped you when it comes to attachment and, detaching yourself. There are different styles of attachment that we'll talk about in depth, but this was just a one-to-one sort of conversation that I wanted to have with you to talk about attachment styles. But anyways, have a lovely day, and I shall see you in the next one.